She was Kohlhepp's girlfriend. And she tells our Megan Alexander not only did she not know she was dating a serial killer.
In the quiet suburbs of South Carolina, a series of brutal murders shocked the nation, leaving families shattered and a community in fear. But behind the facade of normalcy lay the chilling truth of one man's descent into darkness. Todd Kohlhepp. This is a story of manipulation, murder, and the resilience of the human spirit. It all started when he was arrested for a series of heinous crimes, including the chilling murders at Superbike Motorsports and the abduction of Kayla Brown. But what drove this seemingly normal man to commit such atrocious acts? In this video, we delve deep into the twisted mind of Todd Kohlhepp, exploring the events leading up to his crimes and the shocking revelations that followed. From his teenage years in Arizona to his adult life in South Carolina, Kohlhepp's path was littered with red flags that went unnoticed until it was too late. Through interviews with law enforcement, psychologists, and the families of his victims, we piece together the puzzle of Kohlhepp's descent into darkness, shedding light on the intricate web of deceit and destruction he left in his wake. Join us on a journey into the heart of evil as we attempt to understand what drives a man to become one of the most notorious serial killers in recent history.
Oh yeah. Okay, we're gonna get you out of there, okay? Just hang loose for me. Anybody I need a handcuff key.
The story begins with a shocking discovery that sent ripples of horror through the quiet town of South Carolina. In August 2016, the case took a dramatic turn when Kayla Brown, a woman who had been missing for 2 months, was discovered chained inside a storage container on Todd Kohlhepp's property. Kayla Brown, then 30 years old, had been reported missing along with her boyfriend Charlie Carver, prompting an extensive search effort. When authorities received a tip regarding Todd Kohlhepp's property, they decided to investigate further. Upon arriving at the scene, they made the chilling discovery of a storage container where Kayla Brown was found chained by her neck and ankle. It was a horrifying revelation that shed light on the sinister activities occurring on Kohlhepp's property. Kayla Brown's ordeal during her captivity was harrowing. She had been held captive for 2 months, enduring unimaginable trauma at the hands of Todd Kohlhepp. During this time, she was subjected to physical and psychological abuse, forced to live in deplorable conditions inside the storage container. Kohlhepp's motives for keeping her alive were unclear, but it was evident that he had inflicted immense suffering upon her.
I always feel like I should have known better, but there was really no way I could have.
In an interview with Dr. Phil McGraw. In the interview, she recounted the horrors she had endured during her captivity, including the emotional manipulation tactics used by Kohlhepp to control her. Despite the immense trauma she had experienced, Kayla displayed remarkable resilience and strength in the face of adversity. In her interview, Kayla revealed that she had been kept alive by pretending to comply with Kohlhepp's demands, all while secretly plotting her escape. Following her release, Kayla expressed her gratitude for being alive and her determination to move forward with her life. Despite the profound impact of her ordeal, she remained resilient and hopeful for the future. Her determination to survive and her unwavering spirit served as a symbol of hope amidst the darkness of her captivity.
You got a little bit proud. My golf game is weak, my kill game is strong.
Todd Kohlhepp. With Kayla's rescue came the unraveling of Todd Kohlhepp's dark secrets. Todd Kohlhepp's confession is a chilling account of his crimes, offering insight into the mind of a serial killer and shedding light on the horrifying events that unfolded. In his confession, Kohlhepp demonstrates a disturbing level of candor, calmly recounting the details of his murders with unsettling clarity. Kohlhepp begins his confession by detailing the events that led up to the Superbike Motorsports murders in Chesney, South Carolina. On November 6, 2003, Kohlhepp walked into the Superbike Motorsports store, seeking revenge for what he perceived as disrespectful treatment from the staff. He shot and killed 4 people in cold blood. Scott Ponder, the store owner, Scott's mother, Beverly Guy, service manager Brian Lucas, and mechanic Chris Sherbert. Kohlhepp's confession revealed chilling details of how he methodically executed each victim, showing no remorse for his actions. His motive stemmed from his humiliation after purchasing a motorcycle he couldn't ride and believing the staff mocked him. Kohlhepp calmly recounts how he shot the mechanic twice and then proceeded to shoot the owner's mother multiple times in the chest. He then engaged with the owner and the manager, shooting them as they attempted to flee the scene. His matter-of-fact tone as he describes the killings is deeply unsettling, emphasizing the cold and calculated nature of his actions. What's particularly chilling is Kohlhepp's admission that he intentionally shot each victim in the forehead after they had already been wounded, demonstrating a deliberate and methodical approach to his crimes. This detail underscores the premeditated nature of the murders and adds another layer of horror to an already gruesome scenario. Kohlhepp also confessed to the murders of Charlie Carver, Kayla Brown's boyfriend, and Johnny Joe Coxey and Megan Lee McCraw Coxey, a married couple. He abducted and killed Carver, then kept Brown captive as a sex slave for 2 months before her rescue. The Coxeys were lured to Kohlhepp's property under false pretenses and subsequently murdered. Kohlhepp's confession reveals the extent of his callousness and lack of remorse, as he calmly describes his actions without any apparent empathy or regret. His willingness to detail the murders in such a detached manner highlights the stark contrast between his outwardly ordinary demeanor and the depths of his depravity. Kohlhepp's confession extends to his abduction and prolonged captivity of Kayla Brown, shedding light on the harrowing ordeal she endured at his hands. Kohlhepp admits to inviting Kayla Brown and her boyfriend, Charlie Carver, to his property before ultimately killing Charlie. His admission of anger towards Kayla and the swift escalation to violence reveals his propensity for sudden and extreme acts of aggression. Kayla's captivity is described as a period of prolonged sexual abuse and manipulation, during which Kohlhepp exerted control over her life and subjected her to unspeakable horrors. His assertion that the sexual encounters were consensual starkly contrasts with Kayla's account of coercion and survival tactics. Kohlhepp's confession exposes the psychological tactics he employed to maintain control over Kayla, including showering her with material comforts and manipulating her sense of dependence. His actions reveal a calculated effort to exert power and dominance over his victim, demonstrating a pattern of predatory behavior. Todd Kohlhepp's criminal activities extend beyond the abduction and rape of Kayla Brown and the Superbike Motorsports murders. He also confessed to other heinous acts, including the murders of a woman and her husband, whose bodies were found at his residence. Johnny Joe Coxey and Megan Lee McCraw Coxey were a married couple who went missing in 2015. Their disappearance remained a mystery until Kohlhepp's arrest, when he confessed to their murders. According to Kohlhepp's account, he kidnapped the couple and ultimately killed them. Their bodies were later discovered buried on Kohlhepp's property. The details surrounding the murders of Johnny Joe Coxey and Megan Lee McCraw Coxey are particularly tragic. Kohlhepp's actions not only resulted in the loss of their lives, but also caused immense pain and suffering for their families and loved ones. The brutal nature of these crimes underscores the depth of Kohlhepp's depravity and disregard for human life. Throughout his confession, Kohlhepp shows a complete lack of empathy or remorse for his actions, further underscoring his status as a remorseless and dangerous individual. Todd Kohlhepp's confession offers a disturbing glimpse into the mind of a serial killer, revealing a calculated and cold-hearted approach to his crimes. His detailed accounts of murder and abduction serve as a sobering reminder of the depths of human depravity and the importance of justice for victims and their families. To truly understand the mind of Todd Kohlhepp, we must journey back into his past, peeling away the layers of his life to uncover the seeds of his descent into darkness. Todd Kohlhepp was born on March 7, 1971, in Florida. His childhood was marked by turbulence and instability, laying the groundwork for his later criminal behavior. Kohlhepp's parents divorced when he was young, and he was raised primarily by his mother, Regina Tague, who worked hard to provide for him despite financial struggles. However, reports suggest that Kohlhepp's relationship with his mother was strained, and he reportedly harbored resentment towards her. As a child, Kohlhepp displayed troubling behavior indicative of deeper psychological issues. He was described as a loner, often engaging in disturbing acts of cruelty towards animals. His fascination with power and control began to surface at an early age, foreshadowing the violent tendencies that would later define his adult life.
To get rid of the anger. And nothing I did seemed to help.
Todd Kohlhepp's mom, Reggie Tagg, says she noticed the anger and sensitivity to being hurt early.
Kohlhepp attended high school in South Carolina, where his troubles only seemed to escalate. He struggled academically and socially, alienating himself further from his peers. It was during this time that Kohlhepp's behavior took a darker turn. culminating in a shocking incident that would foreshadow the heinous crimes to come. At the age of 15, Kohlhepp committed his first known violent act when he kidnapped a 14-year-old girl and fulfilled his physical thirst in Tempe, Arizona. This horrific crime normal moral standards. The environment in which Kohlhepp was raised and the support he received from his mother, despite his troubled past, may have also played a role in shaping his behavior. However, ultimately, the root causes of Kohlhepp's criminal activities are complex and multifaceted, likely stemming from a combination of psychological, environmental, and genetic factors. In the aftermath of Todd Kohlhepp's reign of terror, the families of his victims were left grappling with unimaginable grief and loss. Among them was Melissa Ponder, the widow of Scott Ponder, whose life was tragically cut short at the hands of Kohlhepp. Melissa, still haunted by the memory of her husband's murder, bravely shares her journey of healing and the impact of Kohlhepp's actions on her and her sons.
Yes, it was terrible because the closet where his clothes were smelled like him. I mean, you know, just yes, all of his items are there that he's never going to access again. And
I was happy. I was pregnant. Sicker than a dog, but I was so excited about it, Melissa recalls, reflecting on the joy she felt before tragedy struck. But on that fateful day in 2003, her world was shattered when Scott left for work at Superbike Motorsports and never returned. Through tear-filled eyes, Melissa recounts the heart-wrenching moment she received the news of Scott's murder and the overwhelming grief that followed. Terry Gee, Scott's stepfather, also shares his perspective, revealing the profound loss and devastation inflicted upon their family. Just a split second, your whole world just turned completely upside down, he laments, his voice trembling with emotion. For Terry and his wife, the pain of losing Scott and Beverly, Scott's mother, remains a constant presence in their lives.
Seriously, it's actually shows his stupidity.
Lorraine and Tom Lucas, parents of Brian Lucas, offer insight into the vibrant spirit of their son, a beloved father and dedicated mechanic whose life was tragically cut short. I was real proud of him, Tom recalls, his voice filled with pride. He was just a good person. Lorraine fondly remembers Brian's unwavering dedication to his family and his passion for his work, emphasizing the profound impact his loss has had on their lives. The pain of losing a loved one to senseless violence is a burden no family should bear. Yet, despite their grief and anger, the families of Kohlhepp's victims remain steadfast in their quest for justice. Through their courageous testimony, they shine a light on the human cost of Kohlhepp's heinous crimes and the enduring legacy of those who were taken too soon. He was arrested after Kala Brown was found alive, but chained inside a storage container on his property. Initially, Kohlhepp faced charges related to Brown's abduction and captivity. However, as investigators delved deeper into his past, they uncovered evidence linking him to multiple murders, including the infamous Superbike Motorsports murders. During police interrogations, Todd Kohlhepp made chilling confessions, admitting to multiple murders, including those at the Superbike Motorsports store and the killing of Kala Brown's boyfriend, Charlie Carver. Kohlhepp's detailed accounts of his crimes shocked investigators and the public alike. However, in exchange for avoiding the death penalty, Todd Kohlhepp entered into a plea deal with prosecutors. He pleaded guilty to 7 counts of murder, as well as charges of kidnapping and rape related to Kala Brown. By accepting the plea deal, Kohlhepp avoided a lengthy and highly publicized trial. Finally, on May 29, 2017, Todd Kohlhepp appeared before Judge J. Durham Cole to receive his sentence. He calmly admitted his guilt when asked by the judge and was subsequently sentenced to 7 consecutive life terms in prison, plus an additional 60 years. This sentencing ensured that Kohlhepp would spend the rest of his life behind bars, without the possibility of parole.
I'm actually ready to forgive him. I'm ready to look at him and
she would have been the first one to tell him that she forgave him, even though what she done, because she was just the type of person.
During the sentencing hearing, family members of Kohlhepp's victims were given the opportunity to deliver victim impact statements. They expressed their grief, anger, and pain caused by Kohlhepp's actions. Despite Kohlhepp's lack of remorse, the statements provided a sense of closure for the families, knowing that justice had been served. Even after Todd Kohlhepp's sentencing, law enforcement officials continued to investigate the possibility of additional victims. Kohlhepp himself hinted at having killed more than the 7 people to which he confessed. The FBI became involved in the investigation to determine the extent of Kohlhepp's crimes and whether there were any other victims yet to be discovered.
I'm not going to answer that directly. I'll just tell you that I'll bet my farm, your farm, and everybody else's farm that I have the right person.
Sheriff Chuck Wright, a central figure in the investigation, spoke candidly about the ongoing efforts to uncover any potential links to unsolved cases and missing persons reports. With a solemn vow to the community, Sheriff Wright emphasized the commitment of law enforcement to leave no stone unturned in their search for truth and closure. Overall, the legal proceedings and sentencing in Todd Kohlhepp's case brought some measure of closure to the families of his victims. However, the haunting question of whether there are more victims remains, underscoring the chilling nature of Kohlhepp's crimes. As we conclude our exploration into the chilling story of Todd Kohlhepp, we extend our sincerest gratitude to our viewers for joining us on this journey. The uncovering of Kohlhepp's crimes has been a sobering reminder of the darkness that can lurk beneath the surface of seemingly ordinary lives. We encourage you to subscribe to our channel to stay updated on future content that delves into intriguing and thought-provoking stories. Your support allows us to continue shedding light on important issues and sharing compelling narratives with our audience. Thank you once again for watching, and we look forward to bringing you more captivating stories in the future.